The doctor will see you now. Oh, never mind. It's just stupid Shigaraki and his friends. Psh, worthless 20-somethings. Oh, dang. That's me. What's up? It's Truth Hero, and welcome back to another My Hero Academia chapter review. Today, we'll be discussing Boku no Hero Academia chapter 221 in the manga. And, this chapter is crazy. Not only do we have more of Gigantomachia in action, and who doesn't love seeing that, but also, are all of our My Hero Academia Doctor theories suddenly one step closer to being a reality? Let's dive into this chapter. But before discussing the medical community, let's first talk about Shigaraki and the League of Villains, and of course, the giant Gigantomachia. Now, you guys, being the ever-perceptive audience that you are, actually commented on my last chapter review that Gigantomachia could in fact be the first Nomu ever. As it turns out, this isn't exactly the case. We find out that he's the first man to ever possess multiple quirks without needing a mutation or a modification. This being said, he has unbelievable stamina, and I'm guessing he has some sort of strength quirk, as well as a quirk that allows him to move the earth under his feet. So, I was right. He's Dian from the 7 Deadly Sins. But what do you guys think? What other quirks does this absolute Chad possess? Let me know down below in the comments. The other thing about Gigantomachia is that the only thing he listens to is a pre-recording of All for One. This shows that he is so loyal to All for One that he can't accept anyone else, not even his successor. He's in despair. He thinks that Shigaraki's strength, and quite frankly, his ambition, isn't up to par with his old master. And he's not the only one that thinks that. This is very important coming from Gigantomachia because he knew All for One, and he knows what All for One is capable of, and that if he's to have a successor, he should be at least on par with his strength. And it also speaks to Shigaraki as a man-child. He is nowhere near developed. He may have gotten stronger, made new friends and assets through Giran, but that's about it. He definitely relied on Kurogiri to just teleport him everywhere and get him anything he wanted, and the Doctor even calls him out on this. Besides the Doctor, one of the members of the League has actually called Shigaraki on this. If you remember in the last chapter, and even in the last panel of this chapter, Spinner has called Shigaraki out on his ideals. And in this chapter, the Doctor eventually asks Shigaraki, "What are you going to show me? You have nothing. You're trash. You can't prove that you are worthy of this spot." And Spinner is looking at Shigaraki, waiting for that answer, waiting for something worthy for him to follow. Now on to the Doctor. So, the League of Villains are teleported directly to the Doctor's hideout using the same slime warp quirk that actually teleported them out of Kamino Ward. This is interesting because All for One is currently in jail, and if he were to activate a quirk, those guns that read your thoughts would just fire on him. So it's not him doing it. Perhaps this quirk actually belongs to the Doctor, or maybe a Nomu, but I wonder who the original user is. The villains arrive, and there's vats full of Nomu bodies. High End Nomu bodies. There's ripped Nomu, women Nomu, ooh. There's fat Nomu, skinny Nomu. This is great. Very progressive Horikoshi. Very progressive. Body positivity. I like it. Nomus come in all shapes and sizes, and are always healthy. But most importantly, guys, we finally know who All for One's Doctor is. All jokes aside, to me, this confirms, or at least presents some strong evidence for our My Hero Academia Doctor theory, which, if you're not familiar with, let me catch you up to speed. This theory states that the Doctor that tells Deku he doesn't have a quirk back when he's younger seems to be the same physician that's pictured with All for One, and the one that's been keeping him alive in the shadows all these years. How is this not the same Doctor? Alright, tell me. If you have a contrary theory, let me know down below, but it's gotta be the same guy. I mean, he even wants his identity shielded from the villains. It's definitely the same Doctor that shot down Deku's dreams when he was a kid, okay? Come on, look at those glasses, alright? Look at those googles.
Call me a big googly-eyed bastard.
We know the Doctor theory, but what cements it even more is actually the vats with the High End Nomu in them. As we saw in the fight between Endeavor and Hawks and the High End Nomu, it had some very, very powerful quirks. And if you're this evil physician that's in charge of creating the Nomu, you need a wide pool of quirks to select from. So, how do you do this? You could either pay some street thugs to donate blood, or even kidnap them. Or you could just be a regular doctor. What do doctors do every day? Well, they see patients, they treat them, they care for them, they draw blood. All this guy has to do is be a regular doctor, talk to Deku, draw some blood from all the kids he sees like Deku, and then save some for All for One. Also, this abuse of patience theory actually has some evidence. There is a theory about a flying Nomu, and that it's actually comprised of the DNA or quirk from a kid with red wyvern wings who used to pick on Deku with Bakugo when they were younger. Now, this isn't confirmed, but what is confirmed is that this kid, this little chubby dragon kid, is the grandson of the doctor who told Deku he didn't have a quirk. If this is true, and that this doctor actually used his grandson as the prototype for a Nomu, then this guy is pure evil. And like I said in my last chapter review, we just got our next serious villain in My Hero Academia. Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised to see some High End Nomu with Bakugo's explosions or Kirishima's hardening. Given this guy's tenure as a medical professional and all of the patients he's seen throughout his career, he's definitely seen kids who have now grown up to be professional heroes or villains. He even said to the League of Villains that, "I've never met you, but we may have crossed paths." Comment below, is it possible that this doctor or multiple doctors actually took samples of people's quirks and gave it to All for One? And are some of these high-end Nomu now in possession of quirks from Class 1A? I think this is entirely possible. I think the doctor that treated Deku and told him he didn't have a quirk had many other patients, some of who were kids, and he simply took samples of their quirks in drawing their blood and just passed it off as him caring for the kids, as any doctor would.
I'm kind of like the guy that looks out for all the kiddies in the park.
Yeah, I bet you do. My last thoughts in this chapter are, 1, the last panel with Spinner looking at Shigaraki as he's asked, "What do you have to offer? Why are you the successor of All for One?" And he's curious because in the last chapter, he definitely challenged Shigaraki's ideals, so it will be very interesting if Shigaraki is unable to come up with something where Spinner's loyalty will lie. Also, did you notice that the doctor asked Shigaraki how his father and everyone else is doing? His father? Not All for One, okay? I assume the doctor knows that All for One is in jail. But his father. So bizarre. Wouldn't it be weird if Shigaraki just turned out to be some spoiled brat who's currently going through a rebellious phase against his very good family? This is weird to me. Unless father actually means the hand that Shigaraki wears on his face, because he does call that his father, but this brings up another question. If it's not, and Shigaraki has a normal family, who are they? As always, thanks for watching. Let me know down below in the comments all your theories on the creepy medical professionals of My Hero Academia. And if you like My Hero Academia content and these chapter reviews, be sure to enroll at UA today by clicking the subscribe button down below. And until next time, plus ultra.